The rain pounded against the window like an unrelenting drumbeat, mirroring the turmoil in Alex's heart. He stood there in the dimly lit room, staring at the faded photograph in his hand, a snapshot of happier times, when Elena's smile lit up his world like the sun breaking through storm clouds. It had been 5 years since they first met, but to Alex, it felt like yesterday. She was the girl who had walked into his life unannounced, turning his ordinary existence into something extraordinary. Elena, with her cascading auburn hair and eyes that held the depth of the ocean, had captured his soul from the moment their gazes locked across a crowded cafe. Copyright. Alex remembered that day vividly. He was just a struggling artist, sketching portraits for tourists in the bustling streets of New York City. The air was thick with the scent of street food and exhaust, but when she approached his easel, everything else faded away. "Can you draw me?" she had asked, her voice soft yet confident, like a melody he couldn't resist. He had nodded, his hands trembling slightly as he captured her essence on paper. That portrait became more than art, it was the beginning of their story. But now, as he clutched the photo, doubt crept in. Their love had been tested time and again, by distance, by misunderstandings, by the cruel hand of fate. Elena came from a wealthy family, one that viewed Alex as nothing more than a dreamer without prospects. Her father, a stern businessman named Victor, had made it clear from the start, "You're not good enough for my daughter." Those words echoed in Alex's mind, fueling his determination to prove him wrong. When a man truly loves a girl, he doesn't just whisper promises, he builds empires to keep them. Alex set the photo down and paced the room, his footsteps heavy on the creaky wooden floor. He had sacrificed so much for her, his dreams of traveling the world as an artist, his freedom, even his pride. Last year, when Elena fell ill with a rare disease that drained her strength and threatened her life, Alex had been her rock. He worked 2 jobs, day and night, to pay for her treatments, selling his beloved paintings to cover the bills. "I'll fight for you," he had whispered to her in the hospital room, holding her frail hand. "Even if it means giving up everything." Elena's illness had been a turning point. It started with subtle signs of fatigue, unexplained pains that doctors dismissed at first. But when the diagnosis came, lymphoma, it shattered their world. Alex watched as the vibrant girl he loved transformed into a shadow of herself, her laughter replaced by quiet sobs in the night. He remembered the endless hospital visits, the sterile smell of antiseptics clinging to his clothes, the beeping machines that became the soundtrack of their lives. Through it all, his love never wavered. He read to her from her favorite books, painted murals on the hospital walls to brighten her days, and held her when the pain became unbearable. One night, as she lay weak in his arms, Elena had looked up at him with tear-filled eyes. "Alex, why do you stay? I'm broken. You deserve someone whole." His heart ached at her words. "You're not broken, Elena. You're my everything." When a man truly loves a girl, he sees her scars as stars guiding him home. He kissed her forehead, vowing silently to never let go. But love, as Alex learned, was not always enough. Victor, Elena's father, saw an opportunity in her vulnerability. He swooped in with his wealth, offering experimental treatments abroad that Alex couldn't afford. "Let me take her to Switzerland," Victor had said, his voice laced with condescension. "You can't provide for her here." Alex felt the sting of those words, but he swallowed his pride for Elena's sake. She went, and for months, they were separated by oceans and time zones. Their calls were filled with longing, her voice growing stronger with each passing day, but the distance gnawed at him. During those lonely months, Alex threw himself into his work. He took on commissions he once would have refused, corporate logos, uninspired advertisements, anything to save money for her return. His small apartment became a shrine to their memories, walls covered in sketches of her face, letters she had sent tucked under his pillow. Friends urged him to move on. "She's gone, man. Find someone else." But Alex couldn't. When a man truly loves a girl, he waits through the silence, holding on to hope like a lifeline. Elena's return was bittersweet. She arrived healthier, her cheeks flushed with color. But something had changed. Victor had poisoned her mind with doubts. "Dad says you're holding me back," she confessed one evening as they walked through Central Park, the autumn leaves crunching underfoot. Alex stopped, his heart pounding. "Do you believe him?" She hesitated, and in that moment, he felt the world crumble. "I don't know, Alex. I love you, but maybe he's right. You deserve more than this struggle." The argument that followed was explosive. Words flew like daggers and accusations of neglect, of selfishness. Alex pleaded, "I've given everything for us. Can't you see that?" Elena cried, "But what about your dreams? I don't want to be the reason you resent me." They parted that night in anger, the air thick with unspoken regrets. Alex wandered the streets, rain soaking him to the bone, questioning if his love was enough. Days turned into weeks of radio silence. Alex buried himself in his art, channeling his pain into canvases splashed with dark hues of despair. One painting, in particular, captured his torment, a man reaching for a woman shrouded in mist, their fingers inches apart but never touching. It was titled Eternal Reach, and when he exhibited it at a local gallery, it caught the eye of a prominent art dealer. "This is raw emotion," the dealer said. "I can make you famous." For the first time, success beckoned, but it felt hollow without Elena. Meanwhile, Elena grappled with her own demons. Back in her family's opulent mansion, she felt like a prisoner in a gilded cage. Victor paraded eligible suitors before her wealthy heirs with polished smiles, but none stirred her soul like Alex. She missed his touch, his laughter, the way he made her feel alive. One night, unable to sleep, she snuck out and drove to his apartment. Standing outside in the shadows, she watched him through the window, painting furiously. Tears streamed down her face as she realized the depth of his love. But fate, cruel as ever, intervened. As Elena turned to leave, her phone rang of Victor, demanding her return. In her haste, she didn't see the oncoming car. The screech of tires, the impact. It happened in an instant. Alex heard the crash from inside and rushed out, his heart stopping at the sight of her crumpled form on the pavement. "Elena!" he screamed, dropping to his knees beside her. Blood trickled from her forehead, her eyes fluttering open. "Alex! I came back. I love you." The ambulance ride was a blur of sirens and prayers. In the hospital, doctors worked frantically, but her injuries were severe: concussion, broken ribs, internal bleeding. Alex held her hand, whispering, "Stay with me. We have so much left to do." Victor arrived, his face pale, but for once, he said nothing, seeing the unbreakable bond between them. As Elena fought for her life, Alex reflected on their journey. From that first sketch in the cafe till the copyright to this moment of desperation, their love had been a whirlwind of joy and sorrow. He realized that true love wasn't about grand gestures or fairy tale endings, it was about enduring the storms together. When a man truly loves a girl, he becomes her shield, her light, her forever. Miraculously, Elena pulled through. Waking up to Alex's face, she smiled weakly. "I was wrong. You're all I need." They embraced, tears mingling, as Victor watched from the doorway. In a rare moment of humility, he approached. "I misjudged you, son. Take care of her." From that day forward, their love blossomed anew. Alex's art career soared, inspired by their story, and Elena stood by his side, her strength renewed. They married in a simple ceremony under the stars, vowing to face whatever came next together. But life, ever unpredictable, had one more test. Years later, as they built a life filled with laughter and little feet pattering around their daughter, named Hope, Elena's illness returned. The cancer, thought defeated, reared its ugly head. Alex felt the familiar dread, but this time, he was prepared. "We'll fight it again," he said, holding her close. Their daughter, only 5, didn't understand, but she saw her father's unwavering devotion. Alex quit his job to care for Elena full-time, turning their home into a sanctuary of love. He cooked her favorite meals, even when she could barely eat, and told stories of their past to keep her spirits high. Neighbors marveled at his dedication, whispering, "That's what true love looks like." One evening, as the sun set in a blaze of orange, Elena took his hand. "Alex, if I don't make it, promise you'll live on." He shook his head, tears falling. "You will make it. But know this, my heart beats only for you." She passed peacefully that night, surrounded by family, her last words a whisper, "I love you." Grief consumed Alex, but he honored her memory by raising their daughter with the same love. He painted Elena's portrait every year on her birthday, capturing her eternal beauty. And in quiet moments, he felt her presence, guiding him. When a man truly loves a girl, his love transcends time, death, and all obstacles. It's a flame that never extinguishes, a story etched in the stars. Alex's journey taught him that, and in sharing it, he hoped others would find the courage to love deeply, fiercely, without regret.